Ecstasy by Helen.
And Malik.
Yay.
Okay, what is ecstasy? Ecstasy is the street name for the synthetic drug methylenedioxymethamphetamine, or MDMA, and it has a chemical formula C11H15NO12. Ecstasy is not the pure form. Ecstasy is often cut with other substances, and MDMA is the drug that produces the psychoactive effects. Ecstasy is not the only nickname. It has a lot of nicknames like Molly, X, vitamin X, vitamin E, the happy pill, and also disco biscuits, which is pretty funny. But it's a psychoactive drug that causes feelings of euphoria and extreme sensitivity to light, sound, and touch, and can produce mild hallucinations. It also provides a lot of energy, so that's why it's really common in the nightclub and rave scene. So it's taken so you can stay up and party all night. So it originated by a pharmaceutical company, a massive pharmaceutical company called Merck, in 1912, and it produced MDMA not to be used in and of itself, but as a parent synthesizer for other compounds and other pharmaceuticals. But in the 70s, American chemist Alexander Shulgin began experimenting with the substance and synthesizing it himself. He gave it to a psychiatrist to prescribe to patients to treat issues like PTSD, and the drug took off from there, especially in Britain, where it's still super prominent today. It wasn't until 1985 that the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, recognized how harmful the drug could be, and they finally classified it as a Class 1 controlled substance.
Okay, so how does MDMA work? MDMA affects the brain by increasing the activity of the neurotransmitters dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Characteristic of amphetamines, MDMA triggers the excess release of these neurotransmitters from their storage sites in neurons, resultingly increasing neurotransmitter activity. Compared to methamphetamine, MDMA causes a smaller release of dopamine and a greater release of serotonin, which is the neurotransmitter that plays a key role in regulating mood, sleep, pain, and appetite. Therefore, MDMA initially creates mood-elevating effects. However, because of this great depletion of serotonin in a short amount of time, users often experience negative behavioral effects for several days after taking MDMA.
And ecstasy has been thought to be dangerous only because of its potential immediate dangers, but the fact is that more and more evidence is surfacing that points to the long-term effects of MDMA. Because of the role that MDMA plays in the 5-HT system, or the serotonin system, serotonin levels can be affected, as Helen said, drastically. And the serotonin levels decrease, but they don't decrease a few days after. They stay low for many, many years after taking MDMA. Which causes a whole host of problems, specifically with the hippocampus and the cortex. Long-term effects of MDMA use include impaired reasoning, learning capability, sleep, and even depression and anxiety, as well as memory loss, both verbal and semantic memory, and short-term memory. Major neuronal degeneration is evident as well, and thus MDMA is not just dangerous because of its immediate effects and their potential consequences, but it's also dangerous because of the long-term problems that it poses.
Okay, so now addressing tolerance, withdrawal, and addiction with MDMA. So, with MDMA, the effects of tolerance and dependence seem to be less pronounced, and it is often claimed that MDMA is not physically, but instead psychologically addictive. However, this psychological dependence can then give rise to an additional physical dependence, in which the brain becomes accustomed to the reactions that MDMA produces. Regarding withdrawal, a large percentage of users report some withdrawal symptoms such as depression and sleeping issues, which Malik addressed in the previous slide. Finally, in treating MDMA addiction, a holistic approach is often used, in which medical treatment is used to counteract organ damage that has been created by the MDMA use, and then therapy and counseling may be used to address the psychological addiction.
So that is it for our presentation. This is our bibliography, and we hope that you guys enjoy the website.
Bye.
Bye.